flame on max. I'ma keep it going till there ain't none left. Going till there ain't none, keep the flame on max. I'ma keep it going till there ain't none left. Going till there ain't none, keep the flame on max. I'ma keep it going till there ain't none left. Going till there ain't none, keep the flame on, keep the flame on, keep the flame, keep the flame, keep the flame on.
Hello everybody and welcome, beautiful Townsville, Sunday triple header style. What a Chemist Warehouse WNBL season. What a regular season that is about to end and lead into a wonderful, wonderful week. Hello, I'm Cam Luke. Peter Hawley is here. Townsville's looking great. The basketball's been great. Pete Hawley, of course, NBL champion. Hello to you.
G'day, mate. Yeah, last regular season game. What a great little hub season it's been. So much talent on display, and comes down to two teams that want to be finishing off their season right. And I think the Sydney Uni Flames, after letting that one slip against the Flyers, will be really trying to make sure they end on the right note.
Yeah, and obviously we've seen the first two games of the day, which had huge ramifications when it comes to the playing order, the finishing order, and of course we got the double chance, and we'll talk a little more about that as the afternoon does progress. But you touched on it there. These two teams who have got better over the course. Adelaide and the quarantining situation, of course, stopped their momentum, but Sydney have got better, and it's to build a little bit of momentum in the off-season. Things you can build on, because as you look at that young team right there, they are young, and Katrina Hippert is going to hope that going forward, this is the core nucleus that she can stay with.
Absolutely, and they played really well for 90% of that game against the Flyers. They just let the last couple of minutes get away from them, and they really would feel disappointed if they let that one slip. They should have won that game. They were all over the Flyers, and I'm sure they want to bounce back here, but we saw some massive performances. Lauren Mansfield and particularly Adelaide were outstanding.
But you called Adelaide the performance of the season on Thursday night. So, and if there's any doubt of energy or worry about not having that in the final game of the year when neither teams can make the playoffs, Adelaide 100% confirms that will not be an issue, because she can only play one way, and that's flat out and full of fun.
Well, for sure, and I think she's going to go back and realise that she probably should have ended up with 20-plus boards, should have had 20-20 game, but it was against, obviously, the Flyers who finished top, and the way she went about it was outstanding. And then the Lightning, they've been up and down all season. They've had to battle through things out of their control, but they'll just want to finish on a good note. And they're obviously going to be led by their two stars, Alex Wilson and Steph Talbot. But I think the best thing for the Lightning is we've seen these little young stars come up and take advantage of these opportunities. Abby Weerung, Chelsea Brooks been great, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see like a Brooke Basham a lot more tonight in this game to really try and close out a real tough little schedule for them.
And you mentioned it, of course, the quarantine, the week. They won. They had the opening game of the year, which I had the privilege to be able to commentate. It was an overtime win over the Caps. Now, the Caps were missing a couple of players, but they played really well. They were 2-0. Then, obviously, the week in quarantine changed the whole season, the feel of it, and the fact is they couldn't get that momentum back. But they did go into Friday night's game, remarkably, against Townsville with a chance to still make the playoffs. While it was unlikely, you tried to talk it up. I said they won't make it. Yes or no?
Well, I'm an Adelaide boy, of course.
Yeah, of course. But in the end, that first 2 or 3 minutes on Friday night was probably about as poor as the opening quarter on Friday night was probably the poorest they've played over the entire season. So Chris Lucas will want to make sure that they can resurrect that, and he'll be pretty keen to make sure it starts from the opening tip.
Well, that's exactly right. They've got off some really slow starts, and against good teams, you can't afford to do it. We saw the Flyers put them away early, the Capitals put them away early. But the Townsville Fire, I might have said, I can't remember exactly, but they are smoky just because of they get on a roll, they're playing in front of their fans.
Mate, they're not a smoky. They're a legitimate title chance now. And you're right about the fans. You're 100% right about the fans. So I don't think they can be. You did mention it and spoke about it and called them a smoky a couple of weeks ago. They can no longer be a smoky because they've got a double chance to make a grand final in front of their home crowd.
Absolutely, and as we've seen, like what the Flames did against the Flyers, you just got to catch them on an off night. But I tell you what, the Flyers just finished that game shooting 62% from three, 18 threes. If they hit over 15 threes, you're not beating them just because it's going to be too hard. But you never know. It's in a season like this, anything could happen, and Townsville are rolling right now. So
no Jenna Hay either for the finals as well. Just quickly before we get to the tip for here is the final schedule, of course. What a week it's going to be. Make sure you get your tickets. WNBL.basketball. Flyers and the Fire to kickstart, and the Caps and the Boomers. That's an elimination game. And then the prelim, of course, on Friday night, and the final. Well, by this time next week, Pete Hawley will know who will be the Chemist Warehouse champion for 2020. More of that over the course of the afternoon, which is about to kick off the Flames and the Lightning.
Number 32, Alison Schroeder, and number 33, Lauren Mansfield. The referees this afternoon, the Kylie Bird and the Byron Giddings and Danica Jolie.
Pete Hooley, a tip?
I think the Flames, just because they'll want to bounce back, as we said, they really should have beat the Flyers the other night. And led by Mansfield, Maley, look for them to get rolling. But as we know, if Adelaide can get out and run, they can make anything happen. But they've got to get off to a good start.
Talbot, 15-footer. That's a little short. Scherf just snaffles her first. Probably going to be a big rebounding night for Lauren Scherf. Here is Mansfield. She was brilliant to kickstart the game, as Pete Hooley mentioned, working off the little pick and roll. Lobs it inside to Scherf. Tomlinson was up to it though, and now they'll run the other way through Talbot. Couldn't quite dump it inside and turn over the other way. Now it's Mansfield. This is when they're dangerous, little semi-transition. Swagmo Belgium was good in the third quarter on Wednesday night. Tries to take it a rerun. Rerung says no, but we'll retain with 15 on a shot clock from the baseline.
Great defense by Abby Rerung right there, just using her body, reading the spin, and good little timing on Swagmo Belgium's drive.
Talk about players who've had opportunities to shine in the hub. As Mansfield straight on threes down the bottom of the net, and that's how we start the points for tonight. Abby Rerung's been great.
She has, and that's exactly what you want when you know the ball's going to be in Alex Wilson and Steph Talbot's hands a lot. You've just got to be able to spot up, get in the right positions, and knock them down. And she's done that all season. So she'll be relishing playing with these two because of how good they are facilitating, seeing the court, and the defensive pressure that they can force on.
Swagmo Belgium going to run right at Rerung, uses the right hand, the non-preferred's able to kiss it off the window, and the first fiver for the Flames, and they start the game the exact same way they started Thursday night against the Flyers.
They do, and they just, when they're physical and they're playing defense, and Lauren Scherf is going to have a massive part of that. Only played 10 or so minutes, got in foul trouble early, had that unsportsmanlike foul, which really hurt them. And as we see, Annalise Maley right there just chased that one down.
Their first rebound of the night, the leading rebounder in the league, just under 12 a game. Swagmo Belgium right to the bucket, little floater's nice, she's able to get it to fit. First 7 for the Flames. And a worrying start already for the Lightning, who started like this on Friday night and were blown out essentially by quarter time. Great backdoor cut. Rerung finds Talbot to steady the ship. Mansfield couldn't make it work. Burton over the top. Maley's involved, as you would expect. Bodies flying everywhere. In the end, Swagmo Belgium reaches in, will give away a foul.
And you said a little slow start for the Lightning, but they play well when they get stops and they get out and run. You saw the first play of the game, they ran through an offense, but that's not how they like to play. They only like to stay in the half court if they get held up or have to take the ball out of the net. They love to get it and go in transition pretty much the whole game. So that's going to start with their defense. They can't do that unless they get stops.
Talbot, a little two-woman game with Luelle Tomlinson. Maley was up to her though. It'll stay with 7 on the shot clock with the Lightning from the baseline.
7 seconds. 1, 2, 3.
Talbot was ambitious, and I think come off the fingernail of Tomlinson after Scherf got in the passing lane. And another turnover, 3 already for the Lightning. Only a couple of minutes into this game. Mansfield. Oh. Tried to hand it off. Doesn't sure. Now Maley's going to have to get to work. 5 on the shot clock. Goes right at Talbot. Couldn't finish it. Semi-transition rerun. Finds Tomlinson. They'll reset. Step back. Little short. Tomlinson on the rebound. Maley comes in over the top.
It's a good start. Good presence so far from Luella Tomlinson. She's got to be in there, and I'm sure Chris Lucas is saying that you've got to try and clean up the glass as much as you can, because you know Maley's coming in, Scherf's going to be all over the boards. It's going to be a huge part if they want to win this game is controlling the glass.
Wilson, nice little move right at Mansfield. Kicks it out. Tomlinson for 3. Can hit them. That to no avail this time. Now swagged by Belger. Mansfield wants Burton. Little screen and pop. She just lets it fly. And if you go underneath, bottom of the net, she's got a couple of threes early. She has 6. And the lead is 8.
Well, she got off to that flying start the other night and had a couple off games shooting, and now all it takes is one good game, feeling good about yourself. As Scherf comes up with a nice little deflection there, and that's what I like to see from the Flames. If they don't get anything out of a half-court set, put it in Lauren Mansfield's hands, call a ball screen, and something good will happen.
Check by Belger, no good. Scherf just pushes Tomlinson. Probably going to try and disguise that a little bit better, Pete Hooley. I've said there's Mansfield, though. Straight, I think. You just touched it on it. She started so well Thursday. If you go underneath, she's got no hesitation in pulling the trigger. Well, now she's got her eye in from deep and she's feeling good about it. When that ball screen comes in, even if you do her over the top, if it's a good, hard screen, she's going to come off and have so many different options. She can shoot that little bunny. She's got a floater. And she's going to find someone if they're open. So that's the really most important thing, is put it in her hands. Whittle comes in. Talbot takes a seat. Scherf, a couple of early fouls. She's taken a seat as well. Greaves has come in. Yes, Whittle got nowhere to go. Shot clock at 4. Oh, Mansfield just slicing and dicing through the defense and probably missed what she should have made. Did all the hard work. Now it's Wilson the other way. Got Burton in front of her. Stops, pops, bang! But that's what Alex Wilson does. You put it in her hands. She's always looking for that quick transition 3. That's become really obvious over this whole season, is if it's a 1-on-2 or a 2-on-2, she's going to try and settle and knock it down. And she's actually got a really high percentage, I believe, for pulling up in transition. Mansfield, little hesitation was enough to be able to get the defender on, and her back foot, she gets to the bucket. She's got 8 to lead all scorers. And Wilson again, almost on cue, just barrows. Straight over Swagmeyer Belger. Offensive foul. Just a really smart read defensively, as you see the little pull-up. Swagmeyer Belger getting in front. She called that, Pete? I don't think you have to after a hub season. They're probably tired, fatigued, so let it fly. Let it fly, and if it's a bank, it's a bank. Absolutely. Fair enough. But you can see the energy from the Sydney Uni Flames bench. Like, there might not be finals or anything more to play for, but there's so much to finish off a season. After this game, they get to go home, see their families, all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot riding on this, just to finish off what you've all started together the right way. Swag by Belger takes a seat. Whittle's able to get a hand in there. It's 1-on-1. Takes it at Maley, who did enough defensively to have it crawl off the rim. Now we push the other way. Maley, Negasoglu, green light! This is what I'm here for, Pete Hooley. She's just entered the game, and it takes all of 15 seconds to let it fly. I love it. Wilson, right at Mansfield, and she gets her hand half on the ball, half on the arm, and now Wilson will go to the foul line for a couple. That's what the lightning and mist was talked about. They don't really have that half-court run-through offense every time. Is Alex Wilson kind of picks and chooses when she wants to be aggressive. I think if the ball's in transition, she's got it. She's got to really attack, but know that if someone comes across late, she's got to find a shooter, because that's when she's at her best, is getting downhill. And talk about Negasoglu. She is not shy. No, it doesn't matter when she's coming in. We saw she sat for 8 or 9 minutes the other night, come in, let a couple fly, and then hit a big one. So look out for her to get a few up tonight. We did just see the Flyers shoot so particularly well from the three-point line previous game. I want to see 10 go up from Negasoglu, 10 three-point attempts. As Wilson gets in the passing lane and is able to finish it. She's had a nice start to this game as well. She's got 7. Here is Mansfield, who leads all scorers this time. Again, this time was Carly Smith. Gave her a bit too much room. Couldn't make it work on that occasion. Great rebound, Greaves. She couldn't finish it. Tomlinson with the defensive effort, and now it's Talbot the other way. It's no surprise Adelaide managed to bring this lead back down, because they're getting stops and they're getting out and running. Alex Wilson being super aggressive, you know, First one's down. Weirung comes on. For Wilson, who takes a break. She'll sit with 7. Rowe, guarded by Whittle. Takes it all the way to the bucket! Gets it to fall with the left hand. 3-point play opportunity. Aggressive off the screen. Was able to get it to work, and that's a nice finish. Talk us through it, Pete Hawley.
Well, it really is. Just saw that Tomlinson, she was all up on the screen, but just turned her body, kind of gave that little avenue down the lane, and it's just a really nice finish through the contact. And this is what I like to see, as we said, if the Flames can't get anything in their offense, to get into a ball screen and really trust that the decision maker is going to be able to do something aggressive downhill, put some heat on the rim, or find someone for a knockout three.
$15-10, 3:20 to go, first quarter. What a triple header it has been to end the Chemist Warehouse WNBL regular season. Talbot inside, runs into some tall timber, kicks it back out. Shot clock's at 4. Weirung's got to let it fly, and she does the good effect.
Good feeling as a shooter, getting the ball with only a couple seconds left. You cannot take a bad one to just be able to get it up. And as we said, she's had a breakout season, playing with a lot of confidence and shooting the ball really well.
Both takes it right at Smith. She'll go to foul line for a couple as well. Game evenly poised early first quarter. Second one's good. Three-point Flames lead, a little bit of pressure. Smacked by Belgian, has come straight back in. Couldn't quite finish it off the steal, and now the Lightning, little semi-transition the other way. Rerun, Whittle, probably got away with a walk. It's the last game of the year, so the referees maybe allowed that one. In the end, it didn't matter because they couldn't finish it. So I've got to shoot that. They go under, let it fly. Couldn't finish it. Bogue just wanted it more. Lost it when she took it to ground. Now Whittle's going to push. Great bounce pass. Smith couldn't quite collar it in. Swept by Belgian. Now wanted to go to work on Whittle. No. This is a hell of a lot easier one than she just made only moments ago. Now Talbot, Weirung. Shot clock's at 10. Here's Whittle inside and Talbot, who got the seal. But that extra pass was cut off. Another turnover for Adelaide. Nagasoglu, little hesitation, takes the bump, just drops it into Bogue.
Good chance to get a little breath here, Cam. There was nothing that slowed down, but it's just what we see, that turnovers on both teams, and the defensive energy, it's there, just making some poor decisions as well, which is a combination of Steph Talbot right there, taking it down.
Talbot couldn't finish it in the end.
And both teams missing a couple they should be making. I'm sure fatigue is playing a big part in this after the season we've had, and you see there's a lot of forcing going on. Haven't really seen too many half-court sets, because that's kind of the way both teams play, especially Adelaide, but I think there's probably 50% of these last couple of minutes, these shots, they want to be making those.
Talbot. Smith couldn't get it to Brooke, but I think they're going to... Might be on Rowe, who was sealed out. That'll be her second. She'll go take a seat. A sound effect, Mike, picking up a lot of the chat today and about the banter. Nagasoglu takes a seat as well. Brooke to the foul line. First one no good.
Chelsea Brooke averaging 10 points on the season, but has really just come into her own since the quarantine break, shooting the ball confidently, knows her role, just misses 2 there, obviously, with the commentator's curse. But another little really good find for Chris Lucas, and they're really happy with what she's done, and she's taken every opportunity that's been out there, even in blowout games, has really just stayed the course and played well.
Mansfield just checked back in. Has 8 early in the lead all scorers. Here's Swagmire Belgium. Shot clock's at 4. Bogue just tried to lob it to Bogue, unfortunately, out of bounds, and another turnover for the Flames.
We're up to 6 turnovers each, and that one wasn't really close. It's a bit too much on it and slipping the other way to the basket, but scrappy opening quarter, which we probably expected coming into the last regular season game with both these teams out of finals. But they've both shown flashes of what have made them really good this year.
Wilson, last shot of the quarter, should go to the Lightning. Brooke. Wilson turned down the first one, got wide open, left it short though, Bogue with the rebound. Maley runs out of time, and that ends the first quarter of the Chemist Warehouse WNBL triple header to end the regular season. It's the Flames by 3, 16-13. Beat Orley. Thoughts on the first 10 minutes?
Well, the Flames came out like the way they started the other night against the Flyers. They were great. They were getting looks. Lauren Mansfield was rolling, playing good defense, and then just a couple of scrappy turnovers, missed shots, layups they should be making, and let Adelaide kind of go on a little run. And then that last 4 or so minutes, it was just a free-for-all pickup game. There was a lot of turnovers, a lot of missed little bunnies as well, but good start by the Flames. They came out really strong, but they want to get back to that. And the Lightning, they know that it all comes down to defense, so they can get out and run.
Nat, give Chris a sub. Let's go a bit taller again. All right, who's possession? Oh, he's all over it today. All right, let's go a horn slice for Maley. A horn slice. So we should have a mismatch in that post position. All right, so let's go. You'll be here. So Carly, you'll be here. All right, Nat, you'll be here. Let's hit Nat. Okay, Maley, you start over here. Let's try and get that. If not, flare, kick it. Set your shuffle cut. All right, Carly, you set a pin down. All right, she'll come up, and then nothing comes in on ball. All right, shoot her in the corner. Okay, got that? Horn slice. All right, keep looking at your step ups, but if there's nothing there, go into your pistols or your 2s and 3s. All right, keep them moving side to side. You can see the driving lanes of the ladies. You just got to put the ball in the hole. All right, play with that on. Hey, aggressive at the rim because you're looking foul. All right, play off 2 feet. We are. Play. Resetting rotation.
Katrina Hibbert there, ending that with the fact is that they are getting to the bucket, but they are missing ones they've probably made over the course of the season.
Exactly right. We saw Swagmire Belgium miss a couple, just getting downhill, and that's when they turn the corner. They're really tough to guard because they can throw it out and knock down some wide open threes, but they're doing all the right things. They've just got to make sure they execute it and really finish off all their hard work.
Flames ball. They have a 3-point lead after 10. Lauren Mansfield led all scorers in the first quarter with 8. Wilson was 7 for the Lightning. And they match up and beat each other. Burton just couldn't find Maley. Little match-up zone to open the second quarter there from the Lightning. And that again an opportunity to be able to get a nice bucket on the seal, and the pass was just off the mark.
Well, it was right there. That would have been an easy layup again for Maley. Just a little long on the pass, and Maley probably thinks she probably should have grabbed that one as well, but again, just doing all the right things, executing. They just got to finish it off.
Just tell that it's get to work on Bogue. Gets all the way to the bucket, stripped. And now it's Mansfield semi-transition. Will she wait for the troops or attack? Great look inside, and again another blown layup. This time it was Bogue. She's able to fix it the second time, just padding her stats. I don't mind it. It's a 5-point lead, but what a pass by Lauren Mansfield.
You say don't mind it, Lauren Mansfield don't mind it. That should be a dime, a little no-look. And this is what I mean, when the ball's in her hands, something good always happens. So if they get nothing out of an offense, to put it in her hands and let her make a decision.
Orlev couldn't make it work. Maley with the rebound. It's only her second, the league leader. The Flames by 5. Swegmeyer Belgium right at the rim. Got a little extra step in as well. Still couldn't finish it. Now it's Talbot to Wilson. Turns down the three. Wants to be aggressive off the dribble. Bogue with one of the easiest steals of the year and couldn't quite finish it.
That's what I talk about the Lightning. Alex Wilson's got to shoot that one because you might not get a better look with the way you play. That's in transition, you're wide open. You've got to let that one fly, especially having knocked down one. That's a great move by Chelsea Brook. Talking about playing with confidence, but Alex Wilson has to let that one fly, especially in a breakdown play because as we said, they might not get a better look.
Mansfield tried to find Maley backdoor. Talbot was up to it. Another turnover. Both teams struggling at different points in this game to look after the rock. Wilson, hesitation, stutter step, gets all the way to the bucket, and that somehow comes off with the left hand. Burton turned in a little 10-footer. Mansfield, 9 on the shot clock. It's the right hand to the ball to be in. Burton. He's wanted it more with Bogue. Kicks out, Swegmeyer Belgium for 3. That's long. Talbot is an exceptional basketballer, but that was going to be an amazing pass if she was able to find that hand.
Yeah, I thought that was a bit ambitious there, but as we said, Lauren Mansfield, when the ball's in her hands, she never gets flustered, she's never rushed, and she'll always make the right decision. Just hit Burton, who couldn't make it stick from outside. And that's what's really important for the Flames, to be able to have that kind of trust in someone to throw the ball to if things aren't going well or try and make something happen. As we said, Steph Talbot, she's going to command a lot of eyes on the floor because the defense knows that when the ball's in her hands, how good she is. She's an MVP candidate. Well, I think that race might be over now. But that's how good of a season she is and the player she is. There's going to be defenders watching her all the time, double teaming her randomly.
Could get it to roll, and it'll come off Burton's hand. Both teams struggling at the moment to put it in the bucket. Flames shooting 29% from the field, Adelaide only 26. And then turn the ball over as well, which will be frustrating coaching staff. 7 turnovers for the Flames, 9 for the Lightning.
That's been the issue, and you talk about the field goal percentages. These are all very makeable. They should be making them. There's some wide open layups, a couple of tough ones that still should be going down, and that's why it's such a low scoring game. They've kind of figured each other out a little bit on the offensive end. They just haven't been able to capitalise on all the hard work they've done so far.
Make it a tough night. Okay, give us play. Okay, and then give us more fast break points at the other end. Right, stop leading. Go and get the thing. Okay, bring 44 on Chelsea. 44. Okay, so come through hard. I want Abby on the screen here. Okay, and then pop it, Chelsea. Have a look. And then we continue to 45. We'll have a look at that. Okay, rather than screen. Yeah, highlight. All right, let's go. Come on.
Let's go now.
Senses a little bit of frustration there, Pete Hawley, from Chris Lucas, and the fact is that they are turning the ball over. Go and get the thing.
Exactly right, and Chris Lucas shown plenty of frustration over the last couple of weeks with the inconsistency that the Lightning have shown, and we saw against the Spirit, they got off to a slow start, but then played 3 really good quarters, and he knows when they play consistent basketball and just do the right things, they're a good team, but they just haven't been able to find that over 40 minutes.
Back to a zone here for the Flames out of a timeout. Wilson turns down the first one. Whittle, great pass, re-rung. That's the best way to break a zone. Got a great look, couldn't quite get it to fall. What can the Flames do? Mansfield. Now the shot clock's at 7. Maley's going to have to go to work on Tomlinson. In the end, she just goes bang. Don't need to go to work off the dribble if you can just face up and nail the 3. That's her first point of the night. The lead is 6.
She doesn't take too many threes a game, but against the Flyers, she knocked down a couple of big ones, including one on the three-quarter buzzer. That was just too easy. The Lightning against that zone have got whatever look they really want, moving the ball well. So I can't see the Flames staying in it too much longer.
Mansfield. Right in the bucket. That one goes down. I thought about it, and then it did. She's in a double figure. She's got 10.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, coming off that ball screen. She gets back a nice little deflection, but just reads Luella Thomason, keeps her on her hip, and then it's a really tough finish, but she knows straight away she's got that advantage when she comes off it, which is why anytime there's a ball screen and the ball's in her hands, there'll always something good will happen for the Flames.
Here she is again on cue, guarded by Wilson. Two easy 2 points. She's got 12. And after a little pick and roll, and both defenders went to Bogue. She went to the baseline, and Lauren Mansfield is having a wonderful season. Just found it extremely easy, Pete Hall.
Well, she's not even out of control. She's looking to give that little dump off pass to Bogue, but the defense never comes. They just stay with Bogue. She gets a wide open layup, and as I said, she's never flustered. She's never out of control. She stays fully within her grasp to make it the perfect play every time. And just a really smart point guard.
The Flames by 8.
You're going to cut through. Bree, you'll cut, you'll lift down the corner. Out set. Okay? Run the play. Lou, you're through on the catch. Okay, then we got the dive. Okay? All right, out of the timeout, let's run our own 2. Twist on the second pass. Guys, tidy up. Get good shots. If you have to stop the ball till the guard gets it.
Here we go. Here we go. Strike on 4, 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
Here, Chris Lucas there saying you have to stop the ball. That's talking about Lauren Mansfield coming off that ball screen. Someone's got to stop her until the guard can get back in front, whether that's the big who's showing or someone who's on split line or maybe on the nail in the middle of the free throw line. But until that happens, you can't leave her because the most dangerous person on the floor is the one with the ball, and especially when it's Lauren Mansfield.
8-point lead. It's the Flames over the Lightning to end the Chemist Warehouse WNBL regular season. Another bad turnover. Now they're into double figures. Swag by Belger. No, she's been able to get one to go down. She's had a couple trickle out earlier. A little bit of relief there, and that lead is now 10.
The couple she's made have both been with her non-preferred right hand, so she missed a couple bunnies on her left that she'd want back.
Shot clock to 10. Whittle. Great cut after a great pass from Brooke. They're actually getting almost anything they want against the zone. They're just missing that one. Obviously was able to find the bottom of the net, but it'll be interesting to see if they're able to start to string a couple of buckets together, how long did Sydney do stay in his zone, because it looks like Adelaide are handling it okay.
They are, and you said they've missed a couple. They've got some good looks, the ball's moving, and if they can get stops as well, then they can slowly start to peg this thing back, but I can't imagine it staying too much longer if they're going to keep exploiting it like that.
Got to give a big shout out to the ball kids. A lot of sweat. They've done a lot of hard work in the hub, and still plenty more to go with 4 more games after this one. So big shout out to the kids who they've got the best seat in the house watching the WNBL and the best players in the world. Of course, all Townsville juniors in their backyard. So very, very fun and great job by those kids. You ever a sweat boy growing up?
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure I saw you growing up in one of those and at the Australian Open. So good little shout out for where you've come from to where you are now.
I was just thinking about as Greaves goes to the bucket. Here's Mansfield. He steps back and knocks it down. She's up to 14. I was thinking about the game in Illawarra NBL last year. I don't know if it was you and I working with Andrew Gaze, and there was one of the people doing a wonderful job was mid-30s, and Chewy could not believe it. Whittle inside, able to finish it.
I do remember that.
Whittle's up to 4. Here is Mansfield. Maley did enough to be able to hit it off the shin of Wilson.
Talking about Maley, she loves a lot, obviously, defensive rebounds, but she leads the league. She averages 12 a game. 4 of those are offensive. we saw throughout the season is when she's on that glass, the energy picks up and everyone else gets around it, and they can really force a lot of second shots, but it comes from her effort. She really just sets the tone and the rest follow. And here we go, another late shot clock with the ball in Mansfield's hands, who's feeling it.
She has 17. Talbot to reply. Does!
It's a good little steadier there from Steph Talbot. Another one who doesn't take too many threes, but Lauren Mansfield, the ball's got in her hands for under 7 seconds in the last couple of possessions, and each time she just makes the right. She never gets rushed. And right now she's knocking down absolutely everything.
Burton did all the hard work. Couldn't put the cream on top. Weirung aggressive to kick out Talbot. 2 straight threes. That one rattles out and into the hand of Maley, which happens, as Pete Hawley said, 12 times a game. Mansfield wants the push. Swagmire Belger. Agrees. Too easy. It's going to get the roll. It'll count. Uses the little left hand. Took the bump. Played through it. And a 3-point play opportunity to extend their lead to 11.
And this is why it does hurt the Lightning with the way they play. They play super quick, but when they don't get anything and teams run against them, they don't have enough to set up their defense, and there's miscommunication. As you see there, 2 players to the ball and end up getting a wide open layup, really. Have to come across and foul and a chance to give up 3. But that's always the issue when you're a team that plays fast. If you don't get a shot or a good shot, teams can just hurt you back the other end just as quick.
Greaves takes a seat. Inside, Brooke. Continuing to have a nice night as well. You mentioned her earlier, Bulls, and it's continuing now.
She's just really been outstanding for the Lightning. Just consistency, and she's just taken absolutely every opportunity. And as I said, there's been a couple games that I've lost by 30 plus, but she just hasn't stopped and closed the game well. And this is where they're at their best, get a stop, out and run. And Steph Talbot has had a great little quarter right here.
Now they want to talk about it. Mansfield has tried to hook it in there, and Talbot was able to have the help side D and pick up the loose ball and finish it. What do the coaches say pre-game in these type of situations? So all the 2 teams that aren't going to make playoffs and going to try to find the motivation. What would have been said pre-game? Well, listen to Chris Lucas first, and he'll go from there.
Sometimes you've got to talk. Sometimes you don't need to switch. Okay, off the end line here. Towns. Go right up on the ball here. Al, okay, Abby, right. Chelsea, you match up to somebody down here. Okay, Bree, you're in the middle. You have to match to somebody. Okay, first pass, go and trap the thing. Here, next play, you're in blue. Back to man. Okay, no fast breaks here. Back to man, listen. Run blue again. Bree, you go the top player now. You screen for Chook. Okay, then you may get a post up with the guard.
Here we go. Strike on 3, 1, 2, 3. Strike.
Yeah, to answer your question, Cam, I think it's just you've got to reward yourselves for a season. You know, it's been a tough season in the hard. There's so many games, but finish off on the right note and just have that confidence to be able to look back at those memories knowing that you finished off the right way. You had a couple inconsistent games here and there, but ultimately you have this to go down as a memory of what you can do and what you've shown that you can do.
A little extended pressure from the Lightning. Flames now only have 10 seconds to work with. It's going to be Burton on Brooke. Spins away from it, couldn't finish it. Talbot had it for a split second, ended up getting it as well. Wilson. Maley with her 5th quarter tonight. Last 4 points before the break were from the Lightning after the lead got to 11. Oh, lost it, but it banana swag by Belger. Oh, just wants it more. Just wants it 4, and it leads to an easy little jumper for Adelaide Maley. She's got 5, she's got 6 boards, and again, we continue to speak about it. She just wanted it again more than anyone else on the court.
She does, and she just keeps doing it. She's been the most consistent performer because she has no right to get that rebound. Comes flying out of nowhere, just refuses to give up, and that's the kind of switch that the Flames need. Unlucky not to get a turnover there, but it is outstanding, and it's just a massive credit to her. And as I said the other night was, look at that, just to put her head down and chase that board, snatch it out of Steph Talbot's hands, which is not easy to do. That's why I do believe the other night was one of the best, if not the best, individual performances because of who she was going up against. To have nearly 20 and 20 against a team that finished top loaded with that much talent and nearly got them to a win was incredible.
Talbot just lets it fly off the inbounds, no good. No 2 for 1 by the Flames by the looks of it, so they'll try and get to their full set. Here's Mansfield. What a pass. You are so right, Pete Hawley. Every time it's in her hands, good things are happening. She's having a hell of a night, 17 points, and she's just controlling it as well as she's able to find Bogue for a little layup there with no defensive pressure on her. Weirung the other way. That's going to be tough. Couldn't get it. Maley could. She's got 4 seconds. Swagged by Belge out for a split second. Somehow stays in. And would have been a remarkable end to a half. But in the end, after 20 minutes in the book, it is an 11-point lead for the Sydney Uni Flames, 39-28. Lauren Mansfield leads all scorers with 17, Pete Hawley.
Well, the Flames, they went away from their zone and got back to the defense and getting stops. And as we said, when that ball's in Lauren Mansfield's hands, something good is always happening. Too many turnovers for the Lightning and too many inconsistent little stretches, and that's all we've come to see the last couple of weeks.
Last 20 minutes of the regular season almost upon us. How will it play out? Well, you have to hang around to find out. But make sure you hang around as well because we are about to be joined by Tegan Cunningham, of course, former WNBL star and now an AFLW star as well. So she'll join us in a moment or two. Mansfield's got 17 to lead all scorers. Talbot has 8 for the Adelaide Lightning. Halftime showtime. 11-point lead as it stands right now for the Sydney Uni Flames, and the game started in spits and spurts, for uses of a better word. But both teams have had probably trouble to get their offensive flow at different times, but it's probably not overly surprising considering last game of the regular season, and motivation is something they might have to dig deep to find.
Well, motivation and fatigue is going to be a massive factor. They've played so many games in such a short period of time, and a bit of a feeling out process, but it's kind of been what we've seen from both sides as of late. The Adelaide Lightning just too inconsistent at times, but they show how good they can be when they get stops and get out and run. And the Flames got off to a flyer like they did the other night against Southside, led by Lauren Mansfield. Maley's up to 7 boards, and as we've said, she's going to be a highlight, Lauren Mansfield, of this first half. She has been outstanding.
Easier said than done. Rerung nails that 3 there in the Chemist Warehouse halftime highlights, and Maley, as the shot clock was running down, just said, well, I'll shoot this over my former teammate, Luella Tomlinson. Swagmai Bell's just been able to find, and they make the right decisions. But on this is not easy to do, but when Lauren Mansfield, the first couple of minutes of a game, is able to find the flow and she's in total control, you can't stop her. And that's what happened on Thursday night, and it's again happened today. It's, again, I don't know how you disrupt her because she's such a quality basketballer, but once she sort of starts to get that confidence and that flow from the opening tip, then she's just in total control of the game.
She is, and she's taken 12 shots, but if you watch her, just how under control she is off the ball screen, she actually is a pass-first point guard, because every time she comes off, her goal, you can see, is to try and draw a defender, and loves that pocket pass, a no-look pocket pass. She's always looking for someone else, but when no one comes to her, she's just ultra-aggressive downhill and just makes such smart decisions. She'd be a great point guard to play with, because you know that she can step up and get a big bucket if she needs, but other than that, she will find you if you're open.
No doubt, have a look at the stats as well. 11-point lead, the main stat. 41%, they were able to actually finish the quarter a lot better. They got it down to 26%, the Flames, at some point. 3-pointers. They're not taking as many as I thought they might have. Obviously, the 8 only had the 50%, but the turnovers were a big one. But again, both teams in the last couple of minutes of the second quarter probably were able to curtail that because those numbers were similar to that early, not just a quarter time, but early in the second quarter.
Yeah, and there was a big dry spell with both teams missing layups and bunnies for a couple of minutes stretch, and then at the end, the Flames just kind of put their foot down, really tightened up on defence. I don't like that zone from the Flames because the Lightning just picked it apart. And when you're playing the Adelaide Lightning, it's important to be able to try and slow them down and let them run through offense because that's when you can have success. You can get stops when you have to slow them down, let them play in the half court because that's not how they want to play.
17 points for Lauren Mansfield as we touched on. Let's just have a little look more of the highlights because there are so many. And she, as I said, when she's in control, and this, as you spoke about Pete Hawley, that was to kickstart the game. When the ball's in her hand late in the shot clock, she just makes the right decision.
Well, she's not rushed. When it gets to 7 seconds, she just waits and just surveys what's happening. And you see all like here, she's looking to pass. The gap opens up, and that's what I love about her game. And obviously, I think it's the lefty as well. I just love watching a lefty who's got a great shot and just a smart player. But again, just saw Luella Thompson out of position, just attacked her hip, but coming off here and just looking to pass, and nothing comes of it, and it's just too easy.
That's a perfect example of that pocket pass quality that you spoke of a moment ago, because defenders are always on the back foot and apprehensive because she's always trying to, as you touched on as well, survey what's going on. She's very, very crafty. There you go. Weirung is worried, of course, on the dive, so both defenders are ready to go just in case she's able to just throw the pocket pass, and in the end, it just opens it. There's a perfect example of the defenders doing the opposite to what they did in the previous highlight, and it works for an easy layup for them.
Well, there's only one way you can really do it. If the big has to show, then someone's going to have to help out. But that whoever's on the nail has to try and come across and just meet Lauren Mansfield, get the ball out of her hands, because if she gets to the rim, she's going to score right now, or she's going to make a pocket pass and give someone an easy bucket. So the only way to really stop it is don't let her catch the ball. But when you're a point guard, it's hard to do.
A 11-point lead as it stands right now for the Flames. Lauren Mansfield's a star. Tegan Cunningham's a star as well. She was a star in the WNBL. She's a star in the AFLW. And she joins us now. Tegan, hello to you.
Hi, thanks for having me, guys.
Hey, we're loving this. We're just sitting on the couch or in the studio watching this. How are you? You loving the hoops in the last month and a big week ahead?
Yeah, it's been a massive month. It's been great. Just watching some highlights there with Lauren Mansfield. She's obviously playing a hell of a game.
Now, Teagues, I caught up with you, I think it was earlier this year. Everything blurs in. We had a little charity thing, but we were talking a bit about your footy. How was the whole switch, and how are you really enjoying that next code?
Yeah, well, it's been my 4th year now at Melbourne, so I'd like to think I'm getting a little better at the game. But definitely the switch caught me off guard. I'd pretty much finished my WNBL career. My last season was Melbourne Boomers, and I just so happened to be playing against a teammate of mine now, Lauren Pearce. And I was lucky enough that the Melbourne list manager was there at the game, and then he asked me if I wanted to play afterwards, and that's pretty much the start of it. And here I am, 4 years in.
What's there something, Tegan, that you love? You can do in AFLW that you couldn't necessarily do in the WNBL? Like the contact? Is the fact when you just knock people down and you know you're not going to have to sit on the bench with a couple of early foul trouble?
Yeah, that's always handy. Probably just the physicality of being able to tackle and get away with it. Not too many fouls being called out on the football field, so that's nice. And
it's getting bigger and better, of course, AFLW, the announcements over the course of the week, the conference ladders. I'm always interested to see what the players, us in the media always talk about the conferences and we're trying to work out who's playing who. Well, that's all gone now with the singular ladder. Are you someone who obviously is happy that or you just don't care?
I think definitely will showcase, I think, the teams that are a bit more established than the others. So it's probably a good thing for most of those teams. But in saying that, I mean, like the fixture came out and obviously it's really exciting and we have a few interstate games. But at the end of the day, you still got to prepare to win every game. It's such a short season. So you can't really look at where you're playing, so to speak. You just got to look at who you're playing and try and get the W. And
on the other side of another code, you currently work as a community basketball coordinator at Basketball Australia. Tell us a bit about that role.
Yeah. So I'm almost 4 years in that role as well. So I look after the Aussie Hoops program, which is our junior development program. And then also on top of that, look after the sporting schools program. So any Aussie Hoops centre that runs Aussie Hoops program also runs sporting schools. So I kind of oversee and manage those two aspects of the program. Before we hear just a little bit more of the Aussie Hoops video, if you haven't seen it, check it out. Have a look at this.
Is this where our dreams start? Bounce the ball, the first goal, the inspiration from an idol, Aussie Hoops is Basketball Australia's official introductory program for kids of all abilities.
Basketball is everyone's game.
It's a great video, and basketball is everyone's game. And I guess, though, 2020, Tegan, of course, in the way that it has been, how has the sort of the last 3, 4, 5, 6 months gone? We've just seen basketball start to get back into it, juniors and seniors. What's it been like making sure that there's been able to be avenues for people to still enjoy the game, even though games haven't actually been able to be held?
Yeah, it's been a tough few months. Obviously now with restrictions easing, I think most states are back up and running. So we're looking for a big term one next year. And it's a great program, as I mentioned in the video. You know, it's an introductory program for 5 to 10-year-olds of all abilities. Basically, we just try and teach the fundamentals of basketball, give them a taste of the sport rather than so much of a competitive game nature. It's more just understanding the fundamentals of the game. And like I mentioned earlier, there's roughly around 250 plus centres around Australia that run the program. So it's pretty easy to log online, head to AussieHoops.basketball. You can enter your postcode and find out where your nearest centre is, and then you can register straight online.
No better way to get started in a game that we all love. Now, I'm going to put you on the hot seat here. We're across. We've got 4 teams left after this game finishes. We're heading to what's going to be a big final. You got a tip for us? Who's going to be the champion?
Oh, it's a very tough one. I would love to see, obviously, the grand final with the Flyers and the Caps, just based on last year. I think it would be a great rematch. They're both very, very good teams, so I think I'd love to see that. I'm not going to pick a winner, though. I'm going to, step away from that. It's too hard to...
That's fair enough. We'll just leave Pete Hawley. We just leave it up to Pete Hawley to be able to take the grill on that. Thank you for joining us. Good luck for the AFLW season, and obviously this program is going to get bigger and better, and to kids getting this wonderful game, and now as we can all go back and start to enjoy some type of sports again, hopefully it's and on the back of the WNBL and so many games, all the games on TV. So I think there's going to be an absolute avalanche of young girls and boys ready to go and get involved. So good luck and enjoy it, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
There you go. She is an absolute superstar and plays for a very good football team in Melbourne in the AFLW.
Well, then we saw a little highlight, kicking a little snag there. And yeah, as I said, I got to do a charity basketball game with her. I think it was last year. This year kind of blurs in, but just a great human being as well as a great dual sport athlete, and had a lot of success in both codes, which is more than a lot of us can say. Well,
I remember you tried to tell me when you retired from the NBL you were going to try and play football, and I remember the conversation. I just point blank looked you in the eye and said, not a chance. And so far, I've been proven correct.
Mate, you've got to find me a nice little gig. So if anyone's out there, you always try and do this and nothing comes of it.
Well, I'm not an AFL coach.
Well, supposedly you know everybody.
Yet. All right, let's get back to the game. 11-point lead for the Sydney Uni Flames. 20 minutes left in the Chemist Warehouse WNBL regular season.
Yeah, come on, you guys can do better than that. There's not many minutes left. Put your hands together for Adelaide. And your home side, the Brydens Sydney Uni Flames. That's when you all go really loud again. Yay! That's it. Nice work.
A big second half here to end this regular season. Had the Lightning got an answer for Lauren Mansfield, because not many teams have when she's got rolling like this, and super fun to watch. But I know the Lightning, when they show their little spurts, it's going to start on defense. So they want to get a little bucket here and then try and string as many stops together as possible.
Big 20 minutes ahead. Adelaide Maley, of course, what a first touch. She had 5.7 rebounds, leading the league in rebounds at 12 a game, so she's well on target for that. And guarding Wilson as well, so... You look inside, couldn't quite find Thomas, and now it's Scherf, who had to sit early with 2 early fouls that way, all the way. Little Euro step with the left.
Well, we saw the other night when she kind of put Sarah Blitzarves down to take a seat. She's got some nifty little moves, and out in transition, a Euro step. It's a really good finish, and we see the Flames back in this zone, which we didn't think they would, because of how easily the Lightning could pick it apart. But this is better, more active. Everybody's moving together. Everybody's talking.
Talbot, short. Shooting a Hibbert there, trying to keep it in nicely.
This little whoop.
Nice move. Reminds me of that lap you did in that grand final game 5 where you took one dribble and took 6 steps from half court and was able to get it to roll?
Thanks, mate. That's a good memory of mine. I appreciate you bringing up a positive for me.
Career highlight. Wilson loses it. They've got to get it up. They do. Tomlinson doesn't hit the ring, though, and it will be a turnover. It's been a pretty frustrating start, I'd say, for Chris Lucas's crew to kickstart the second half. Turnovers and missed shots, and the lead is at 13 now, and they've got to be able to wrestle some momentum back, starting with this defensive style.
Well, you've got to give the credit to the Flames. I said that I didn't like their zone in the first half, but they've been more active in it, and they're moving better, and all of a sudden it does look a lot better because they have that action and that energy.
Yeah. Now Wilson wants to push. But she's at her best. That is an outstanding pass to Steph Talbot, and that will make Chris Lucas and the bench a little happier. That was a brilliant pass, and Pete Hawley, you continue to say that's when Wilson's at her best. Good things happen. That's a great example of it.
Yeah, the Lightning, they've just got to try and get stops. Great finish by Scherf. And yeah, when Wilson has the ball, that's another fantastic pass and another finish by Steph Talbot. Those two work so well together. But she's got to keep being aggressive and wait till someone steps in front of her to stop her and then make the right decision. Yeah, she gave up a charge earlier on, but that's what the Lightning revolve on, is that quick speed in the open floor, and that's when she has the ball. And that's... she's got away with one there, Lauren Mansfield, but when you're feeling good about yourself, was that legal?
I don't know. I did see someone else do it earlier in the year, but once you leave your feet, you just can't dribble it, did you?
Well, maybe she kept 1 foot down, but definitely didn't from here. And
it was an optical illusion if she did. This time it gets away with an offensive foul. The referees put away the whistle there. Little hook, but she couldn't quite finish it anyway. Mansfield is swept by Belger. Right at the bucket. Probably takes one right in the head as well. Wilson. Looking inside of Thomas, a great seal. And in the end, she had a little mismatch with Mansfield. And Wilson was able to find the right call.
You see the difference. As soon as the Lightning get a stop, something good happens. They don't run through offense. They just get really aggressive. And now the Lightning a little zone as well to try and switch up what they're doing.
Here's Maley. Shirt, turn, face. 16-footer, shot at 13-foot. Maley gets a rebound. Now they're going to run. Talbot says, I'll wait for the troops. Oh, that was a great look.
It was a bit earlier, I think, would have been there. If we have a look, I was hoping we could get the Lauren Mansfield. Let's look at Alex Wilson. That's just a really, really smart feed, just knowing exactly. And we'll have a look here. Yep, that is definitely a missed call there, but hey, when you're feeling it, things go your way.
Oh, yeah. When you're feeling it, the referee puts away the whistle. I wish that was the case. Back when I played F grade.
Well, you've got to get air underneath your feet to be able to have a chance to get that called against you, because that would never have happened to you.
Well, Nikes, mate, so air Nikes, so there was plenty of air under there. Brooke Basham comes on as well for her first minutes, and Pete, you spoke about in the pre-game. This is a good opportunity for some of these younger players to end the season positively. Great seal. And Burton again couldn't finish it. Now it's Wilson. Here is Basham. Let it go! Brooke on the rebound. Can't get up around the tall tip.
Oh, $2 for $1. Let it fly.
Yeah. We run well. And that's how you do it. Bottom of the net.
And this comes, Burton's got to make that layup because the Lightning just get out and go. And yeah, Brooke Basham, there's a couple of blowout games where she came in and her energy was outstanding in a game that was already decided going into that fourth quarter.
Chelsea Brooke, the block on Maley. Nagasoglu back into the game. Oh, great pass. Burton on the right hand, little half jump hook. But gets hit on the wrist.
And Brooke just that left arm just coming across and had position and did the play before pretty well. Burton just missed one, but as soon as you bring your arm down, that's going to be called.
First one. All twine. Best,
One shot. Time you run.
almost the best sound in world sport. Pete Hawley, that one.
How's about 2 of them?
Even better. Again, a little pressure up the floor from Siggy. Just to try and disrupt them a little bit. Get back to this zone, and just a lazy pass. Negasoglu, she got the green light when she gets over half court. Here's Mansfield. Shot clock's at 9. Now it's 7. She's going to have to let it fly. She doesn't. Bogies, though. Little runner. That didn't hit the ring.
They got lucky there, but
Incredibly lucky.
Carly Bogue, when Lauren Mansfield calls for a ball screen, you've got to come and set that and then roll, because she will find you. If you slip out of it without any contact, that's going to make it tougher and have to be a one-on-one isolation play. Just too much success if you can just set a screen and roll. It's not going to be there from Weerung. That's what you're going to do, is set a screen and really trust that she will find you if you're open. Negasoglu, as you said, not shy whatsoever.
Keep getting it up. That'd be my advice. It's good to see.
It is, and that's what you want. You want a little spark plug.
Now they want to push. It's Mansfield. Looking. Negasoglu just stood on the end line, on the sideline.
And somewhere Shane Hill is shaking his head. Absolutely hates that. And as you said, she has a green light. Just a little bit of open space. You got to let that one fly. So there it was. Should just step backwards. I know you haven't hit one so far tonight, but no better one to get yourself going than a quick one in transition.
I reckon might be the hammer on the basketball show. Of course, Shane Hill, Joe Healy doing a wonderful job. I reckon he might drop the hammer on the, because it's happened a little bit the last couple of days.
It has. And that can be super costly, especially when you get those tight games where a possession matters. You don't even get a shot up, and it's just a silly turnover mistake like that shouldn't happen. You should always know exactly where the sideline is.
It's one possession, and then we're man after that to get your matchups. Offensively, what we're saying is look at your 21 series stuff. Okay, so we kick it ahead, all right, give it back on the chase, stretch the D, get your flare screen, and then post player follow into your on ball. Look at turn in the corner, look at your roll. If not, you got to kick on, and you got your pin downs. Hey, we don't allow them to transition baskets, so we find good shots, we get back. All right, we get good defensive shots. We are.
Trina Hibbert there saying when it gets to that ball screen, play before Carly Bogue slipped out of it. You've got to set that screen knowing that if you set a good enough screen, either Lauren Mansfield's going to get a layup or someone's going to have to help. And if you set a good screen, are going to get rewarded and get a nice, easy bucket. So when they get that ball screen and really set it, good things happen. And that we heard it and we talked about Lightning, how potent they are in transition. She said they can't allow any of those.
Big thank you to all the clubs and the coaches. The access has been great for basketball lovers around the country to be able to get talked through every single time out. Three-quarter time as well, and then with Megan and Brayden courtside. The access is a huge reason as to why the WNBL continues to get bigger and better each and every day. Negasoglu. Mansfield just crafty, and it leads to a row three into the hands of Talbot. Now they'll push the other way. Talbot's got 9 boards on the night.
That's why you got to make sure you can get a good shot, because Lightning, when the defense isn't set, are really tough to stop. But I like their zone this half because they're moving, they're pointing, everybody's on the same page, and they've caused a couple of unforced errors from the Lightning. And Steph Toward, as an incredible player she is, there's a couple of struggles of late from the free throw line, which I'm sure will disappoint her, but what a season she's had and what a career that she is still in and only going to get better.
Big part of that Opal squad in recent years, heading towards Tokyo 2021. Of course, the Opals camp, first of the year, just after New Year's, up on the Gold Coast. Shot clock's at 5. This is where Mansfield is at her best. At once, you have to let it fly. Wasn't a great set there for the Flames against the zone and the Lightning rerun. A little floater. That was nice. And the lead's back to 9, back into single figures, and gives them a little momentum. She's got 8 as we near three-quarter time.
And you said with Mansfield, she got it with only 6 seconds to go. That's not long enough. She's got to have it. As soon as it gets a single digit, she's got to sprint to that ball screen, give her more chance than have to settle for a contested 3.
Wide open. Rowe again, couldn't find it. Now it's Whittle on the run.
And this is where Lightning are good. They just take it and the defense isn't set. They can normally make something happen, but good job for the Flames slowing them up.
Whittle. Great positioning. Couldn't get it to finish. Pogue with the rebound. Oh, what a pass. Mansfield to Burton. That's going to count. A little bit of relief here too, because Nat Burton's missed a couple she should have made, but this one takes a little bump for rerun, gets straight up through the contact, and now a 3-point play.
Well, everything was right there. Rerun just caught a little bit out of position, but that's because Lauren Mansfield just broke down. Brooke Basherman went early. And she's just a really smart decision maker, and that's exactly what you want in your starting point guard. Combine that with how quickly she can get rolling as an offensive threat, and she's got that complete package.
Sweat Kid's doing a wonderful job again. Carly Smith comes in for Adelaide. Burton takes a seat. She's got 7. Who wins the championship, Pete?
Are we talking about that now, are we?
What a throw in.
Well, I think the Flyers right now are in the box seat to be able to beat the Caps. They're feeling good about themselves, and we know the depth they've got. But anything we've seen, anything can happen.
Talbot. Great pass. Brooke, 3. No good, but Talbot just works harder. She's up to 10 rebounds. Make that 11 to go with 15 points. She's got another double-double. Negasoglu, green light! Nothing but nets. That's what we want to see. Catch and shoot. Best way to break a zone, her first of the night, and the lead's back to 13.
In the exact same spot where she stepped out, so she knows that any other daylight she gets now after knocking one down is going to go up. But an exciting play, as we said, brings that spark and that energy.
Talbot was 6 on the shot clock. Little crossover. Swagmo Belger was able to poke it from behind. Mansfield, great pass. Maylee couldn't finish it. Just wanted it more. Again, Negasoglu turned it down, little floater. This is a interestingly broken play. So Lauren Mansfield says, let's hold this. Gets a bomb! Couldn't make it work.
That's what I said, just never out of control, and had a nice little pass to Maylee before, who came up short, but just surveys everything, and was always going to get that foul with Chelsea Brooke out of position. But only Maylee, it's actually one of the hardest shots in basketball. You wouldn't think it was a little jump shot. It's not going to be a floater. It's normally the go-to horse shot or get someone at some stage right in front of the charge circle as a jumper.
Lauren Mansfield having a wonderful night, 19 points. And again, sets the tempo from the opening tip, Pete, allows the flow of the game to be dictated by her, and then allows her teammates to come into it. Had 15 points at halftime, didn't score in the third quarter on Thursday night. Tonight she's up to, well, she's up to 20 now. Made that 21 after she had 17 at the half. So you mentioned it before, pass first point guard and always getting the team involved. She does set the tempo, but she doesn't force anything and allows her teammates to come with her.
Well, she does, and when she's knocking down the 3 ball, it just opens up all facets of the game for her because she becomes that dual threat. And you see when she was struggling shooting in a couple of those games, they could go under and she wasn't going to keep trying to let it fly, because that's a credit to how her being smart, nice skip pass there, to just know when it's not her night. But it really is just a total package of point guard you want.
Smith, just inside the three-point line, knocks it down as we get near the three-quarter time. Check my Belgium, couldn't find Maley. Hashtag WNBL20, make sure you get involved, wherever you might be, socials, as we head into Chemist Warehouse finals week in the WNBL season. Mansfield couldn't find Scherf. Smith with the steal. Now they're going to get the last shot. Marina Whittle. 10 on the shot clock. Wants to take on Maley. Spins on her. Takes a little bump.
Katrina Emmett there telling Adelaide Maley to put your hands up. Just coming forward a little bit. And that possession before, Alex Wilson's defense, that's how you got to play Lauren Mansfield right now, is when she picks up the ball, smother her, had it off balance, which forced that turnover. That's the exact way you've got to do it.
Now it's both. 6 seconds now for the Flames to get to work. It's in the right hands. It's Mansfield, guarded by Wilson. Gonna get the look at it. Got a look. Oh! Gave an opportunity. Couldn't finish it. But that has three quarters in the books as the Sydney Uni Flames 57, the Adelaide Lightning 46. Pete Hooley.
It was the same kind of picture we saw in that second quarter. The Flames got off to a little good start and both teams showed flashes, but ultimately Flames doing what they do best, getting some stops and making some big plays when they need. And Steph Talbot currently keeping the Lightning in this one. Huge double-double.
The guards have got to get in there and compete on the rebounds. They're getting second chance points, and that is literally the only thing that they're doing to keep themselves in the game. All right, execution-wise, let's get out of the corners. All right, we're forcing stuff through corners. All right, 21's work when we set screens, because when we come off our on balls, we can get reversals as well. All right, they're actually, I think they're trapping a hard showing on you. So again, set your screen, look at your throw back, look at your throw ins. All right, first play here, we're going to go nothing on for Mansfield. Okay, so Maley, you set the second screen. Okay, Lodge, you set the first screen Lauren up. All right, Maley, you sprint to the corner and hold. Mansfield, you come back into the on ball. Lauren, you come back into the on ball. And then you two play out through the middle. All right, the rest of you space that off the other side. Funda, you would space here, so you've got two shooters that can come through. We've got Swags in the corner, and you've got Funda. All right, so read it, kick. You've got a shot break. If not, kick it on. Ladies, let's finish this game out. All right, we've gotten better. We talked about the process. So you have to finish this game. All right, we've got this energy.
Give Tim a big round of applause as he exits the arena.
Just drawing up exactly what we talked about. Get that ball screen for Lauren Mansfield in the middle of the floor. If you're Nekasoglu or Schwagmeyer Belgium, have your feet set, ready to let it go, because she'll find you if someone steps up. Otherwise, someone is going to get a wide open shot.
10 minutes to go in the regular season.
It's a Flames ball. Final quarter.
Mansfield having a wonderful night with 21. He's shaken by Bell's return to 3 down. Gets hit on the arm, or at least the referee says.
That was better defense where the Lightning just knew that that's where it was coming and stepping up to help, and just a little tap on the elbow.
Hard to argue that one.
Oh, they'll try. Everyone, you'd always try.
Yeah, well, that's fair too, I suppose.
You're not they're ever going to change their call.
Would there be a bigger shock if the referee changed the call, like in a game?
When they come together and talk about it, but it's never going to be someone who turns around and says, like, I didn't do it.
Talbot. Ball up here is Talbot, shot 15. Make it 18. And again, she keeps the Lightning within distance. 11 rebounds to go with those 18 points. And you mentioned the fact she doesn't step out and take a great deal of three. She has tonight, 2 of 4, but looked a lot more confident in her stroke from beyond the arc. There's Mansfield on a great backdoor pass from Shirt.
It's actually a really nice drawn-up play, and all the emphasis looking like there's a shooter coming off that screen, and we end up getting an easy backdoor. But you're right, Steph Talbot, nice pick and pop. All that found her, and just really good, quick offense, which caused the confusion between Mansfield and Maley.
Maley just got her 10th rebound, so back into double figures again. Rowe, nice move in the air. It's going to be knocked out by Talbot.
You say 10 rebounds. How quiet has she got about that?
Incredibly.
She had 1 offensive rebound. She came out of nowhere, but just has a knack for getting rebounds, which is what is going to make her such an incredible player to watch over the years. It's going to make her price in this league and where she can play and how important she is to teams so invaluable, because it's just innate, as we see. It hasn't set the world on fire like she did the other night, but still has 10 and just going about her business.
Here's Rowe, little crossover.
Goodness.
Ah, couldn't finish it, deserved it, got her own rebound. They'll start again. Little highlight play, Mansfield inside the Scherf on the roll, who just dumps it inside the swing by Belgium. They've turned down about 9 shots in that set, but in the end it didn't matter, it counted anyway. We run. Couldn't finish it. Scherf with the rebound. That's her 4th. They're only just hanging in here, the Lightning, down 13. Haven't led all night. Shown by Belgium into Scherf, who was camped in there for a long time. Couldn't finish it. That's kept alive by Adelaide Maley.
She's looking for
She's got a coat hanging for crying out loud. No wonder she's bemused.
But that's better defense from Chelsea Brook on the ball screen. Let's have a look here. It's a nice little feed. But just see Adelaide Maley have everything and get both her arms chopped away. But that was better showing from Chelsea Brook. Force Lauren Mansfield back, because if she turns the corner, it's over. There will be someone who gets a wide open shot. So much better adjustment there from the Lightning.
Wilson inside the Talbot, and this duo has been great all season, continues here in the last game. That's a great pass, a great finish, and one to come for Steph Talbot. She's up to 20.
She's having a blinder. As you said, the duo, they just really work well together in tandem, but it's all about the defense for the Lightning, because they can really start to turn things on and they can make good decisions when they play fast, but if they're not going to get stops, they can't play in the half court. We just see as soon as they can cause something and broken down play, as Maley just goes up and snatches it. It's truly incredible to watch.
It is.
It really is.
Here she's at the other end. Knocking it down. Great pass, Lauren Mansfield. 7 points now for Maley to go with 11 rebounds. Talbot backdoor. What a punt, what a pass, what a finish. And now, what a timeout.
Well, Alex Wilson just really setting up Steph Talbot on a platter. Alex Wilson, 7 points, 7 dimes. But Steph Talbot, 22 and 11, a couple steals. These two, we knew that the Lightning all season were going to be led by these two, but it's who can step up in important little other aspects of the game. And I think defensively, Chelsea Brooks really changed the game with the way she's guarding that on ball. But they've got to manage to get stops every time down the floor, because when the ball comes in Lauren Mansfield's hands, if there's no pressure, someone's going to get a wide open shot from the Sydney Flames.
11-point lead for the Flames. 23 for Lauren Mansfield as to lead all scorers at the other end. Steph Talbot's been incredible at 22.
Guys, let's have absolute practice. Have some fun with it as well. Just enjoy competing. position now in the half court. Okay, so nose action with the back cut, loop up, the back cut. Okay, you're in zone. Steph, yep, Steph, you go to the foul line, you're a perimeter. Okay, 4-man switching, you're at home. Okay, she's hedging, which is working for us. You've got to come off the ball on the weak side. Okay, one go.
Here right there, Chris Lucas saying the hedging of Chelsea Brook, but someone's got to have her back on that weak side when the big rolls, because Lauren Mansfield will throw it straight down, but he wants that execution. They're in a zone. If you get Steph Tower with the ball at the free throw line, something's good's going to happen. So it'll be interesting to see what the Sydney Uni Flames do defensively this next possession.
Chris Lucas also just stressing, and Mansfield goes to the bucket trying to finish it. Maley just wants it more. Couldn't quite corral it. Talking about to enjoy the competition, to enjoy competing.
Just, you saw her at the start of the clip, just out of the screen, just coming from nowhere.
Great take, left hand couldn't finish it. Whittle with the rebound, Talbot couldn't quite hold on to it. Now it's Scherf. Swag by Belzer at Brook. Gets a little bump, couldn't finish it. Couple of freebies coming her way.
That's what I'm talking about. If you don't take advantage of the Lightning, the Flames, it's going to hurt you just running down the other end. And on Scherf, show that she can handle the ball out in the open floor. We've got a little Euro already in this game and looks really under control.
First one's down.
One shot.
Wee-Run continues to be aggressive. Lost the handle there.
This is what I like to say, Adelaide, if they do happen to play in the half court and can't get anything, if it gets even around 14, 15 seconds, get the ball in Alex Wilson's hand and set an on ball, and then someone has to move and just make the play off that. The Flames do it with Lauren Mansfield. You can put Steph Talbot even in the on ball and make them a real dual-way threat. Then everyone's got to be ready just to catch and shoot because they will draw so much attention. And Chelsea Brook picking up, I believe, her 4th foul. Just being a little too physical there on Lauren Scherf.
.550 to go. Sydney have been in control for all of this game. Whittle got her in the bag. Sweet by Belgium to go to the line for 2.
You just want to close off the middle. It hasn't hit a 3-ball yet tonight, so you can afford to step off a little bit. As soon as you drop that top foot, she's got to put her head down. You know Swagmar Belger can attack and will go aggressively. And once you're beaten, you've got to hope someone else steps up because all you can do is really hope or foul.
15-point lead, Swagmar Belgian out to 13. If you're in Townsville or you're thinking of going up for the finals, WNBL basketball for tickets. It is going to be heaving come Wednesday night. You love Adelaide Maley Hull, so I've been able to get you some more highlights. In fact, we all love her because what she does is brilliant to watch. Let's have a little look at some of her work and talk us through it.
We talk about the knack. She just goes, the energy has never stopped, in a hub season especially, to be able to every single night deliver these performances. It's truly remarkable. And gets in the right spots to get the easy boards, but she literally has no right to get some of the ones she gets. And when she's knocking down the 3-ball, she gets in the right spots as well offensively. Super athletic, but just the knack. This one here was the best one, just snatching it out of Steph Talbot's hands, who's got 11 as well. I've been extremely impressed. One of my most standout performers for the season, no doubt. When you're her size and lead the league in rebounding, in a league that has one of the greatest big superstars in Liz Cambage, and you can go in and lead the league, it's incredible. And Trina Hibbert would love having her. And again, we talked about the opportunity. She went to the Sydney Uni Flames wanting this, and was never going to come out and score 20 a game, is doing this and has made herself one of the most valuable players in the WNBL.
They're running out of time here, the Lightning. They have to start to get to work. Down 15, 6 minutes to go. That's not going to help. Another turnover, that's 19 now for the Lightning. First foul on Wilson, she's got the arms tangled up there with Scherf into the bonus, so she'll go to the foul line for 2. Second one's good. Lone Scherf's got 5 and 5 on the night. Some early foul trouble again, curtailed her with a couple of early ones. Wilson just loses the handle. They're able to get it back. Now it's in the hands of Talbot. Wants to take on Maley. Leera had a really good season. That's a nice move on Swagmire. Belgium just couldn't get it to finish. Been a couple in the second half for maybe rerun. Now it is the Flames the other way. Trying to put this out of reach for the Lightning. Scherf, too deep, too big. Couldn't quite finish it. Talbot's going to push. Cross-court pass, Wilson. Thought she had it, did not. Out of court, turnover number 20. And unfortunately, Peter Hawley, I know there's still 4:40 to go, but we are starting to run out of time if you're an Adelaide Lightning fan.
Yeah, and this has just become a familiar story for the Lightning, just these patches where they show how good they can be, but they just can't string it together. And it's tough, especially in a season where you don't have much time to rest your body and look after yourself. It's going to be hard to, still getting a nice shooter's bounce, to be able to play that way because they play super quick. When you've got a game every other night, it's going to take its toll fatigue-wise, and you throw in that they had the quarantine. The quarantine was going to affect them more than anyone because of the way they play. Yep. They play super quick. They rely on their speed in transition. So for them to have to be locked up for 7 days was always going to affect them more than any other team that could actually really knuckle down and play slow in that half court.
Key injuries, of course, prior to the season as well. Wilson has been great, mainly with the rebound, number 12. But now on that season's average. Mansfield thought about it twice. The third time she just let it fly. Wilson, she doesn't need to think about it. Let's go. Smith had it for a second, but Maley just popped it out. We might have an injury here in that rebound. Here's
wrist, hand or finger maybe look like holding that.
Might be a little, maybe a dislocation, possibly, or hopefully.
We hope it's nothing serious. That's the last thing anybody wants to see, especially in the last game of the regular season.
Scherf inside, couldn't finish it. Double with the rebound. She got 13 on the night. Brooke from Wilson for 3, in and out.
And you don't even have to say it. You just know that 50-50% of the time it's going to, Adelaide Maley's going to come up with the rebound. So you just, someone might take another one, but your pretty safe bet is to say that she'll be grabbing one. And Mansfield
shuts the door.
We talked about just her awareness going under, nice little cross back, and she's been outstanding. Along with Maley, who had 2 boards in the first quarter, now up to 14.
Amazing, isn't it?
It really is, and you have a little chuckle because You think that it's just not going to happen. I expected after 2 in the first quarter, she might not reach double digits, and now she's got 14 and had a couple stolen away from her as well.
That's it. Iowa, nose, circles. You need to get the ball moving and get to the foul line. Okay? You need to get some stops in the center. 3 things only unless I call things. Unless I call something, okay? Right, if they're open shots and blind, then let's get some action. Okay, so we got Iowa next time down. Alright, if they're switching, alright, that's fine. If it's zone, Steph, you go to the foul and just go straight in there and you can work the high low. Alright, now it's going to come inside the shirt here. Alright, Mansfield will stay attached to it.
What do we got? What do we got?
Yes, 4 man, she'll stay home. Okay, let's go.
1, 2, 3. Right!
A resident DJ loving Shania Twain, so clearly a similar playlist to Pete Hawley's.
There is nothing wrong with this banger. There is nothing wrong with this.
Didn't say that at all.
It actually is in my shower bangers playlist because you will belt this out when you're in there. Man, follow it on Spotify, mate. It's full of them. You got 2 of them actually, Shania Twain, in that playlist.
What's the other one?
That's a good question. She has another really good one. Now I got to look it up.
Must be a real big fan. He also gets a little bump from Mansfield.
That don't impress me much. That's the one. Sorry, had to get that out there just to do my research.
Okay.
Being told from the back to sing a little tune, which will not be happening.
Have you seen, and he does a great job, and my apologies that I don't know his name, but in the Townsville Fire games, their courtside announcer.
Incredible. Orange suit?
Yeah. You know, he was a development player at the Townsville Crocs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so Brad Yulee told me today.
Well, that's a little tidbit there.
Yeah.
Cam Luke. So there's your little Sunday gift, everybody. Little tidbit from Cam Luke.
Merry Christmas. Might be the only gift I give over this festive season.
Wouldn't be like you, would it?
Went Christmas shopping yesterday, bought myself a lot of stuff. I wish I was joking. Smack my Belgium misses the first. Second one's good from Swagmire Belgium. He's up to 17, and another one who's had a really good Chemist Warehouse WNBL season, averaging just over 13 a game. And here she is on cue with the steal right at Wilson. Uses the right hand, couldn't finish it. Layup now. 2 foul shots to come after the missed layup. Just getting word from courtside as well. Dislocated finger for Carly Smith.
Been there plenty of times. That is not fun, especially if it's the first one. After that, if it keeps happening, it just becomes a bit of a routine.
Not going to be a hand model, Pete Hawley, that's for certain. As Wilson knocks it down.
She'll be happy with the way she finished tonight. This is what I wanted to see from Alex Wilson more, is that aggressiveness. Even if you missed a couple, you just got to back your talent in and back yourself in. And there she is again, Maley, just causing that extra effort.
Another opportunity because of the hands of Adelaide Maley, and it leads to Mansfield knocking down the 3. She's got 28, and the Sydney Uni Flames are ending the season in the best possible way. And we did the game on Thursday night, Pete Hawley. They were brilliant against the Flyers, and they've been able to come out tonight and do the exact same thing. And today, they're going to get the result.
Well, Lauren Mansfield's been terrific, but you got to give that again back to Adelaide Maley, causing an extra O-board. Won't count, should. There's another tip she gets first, but just that it's fun to play this way. You can see the bench loves it. They all just play for each other when everything becomes so infectious.
Talbot checks the shot block, has to let it go, but Maley, great rebound in the hand of Whittle. Gets her own ball, couldn't finish it. Not even going to say it, but she's got 15 now, Maley.
I'm laughing because it really is, it's outstanding.
Swing by Belger. Shit. 9 on the shot clock. It's down. It is raining three-pointers now for the Flames. The lead is out to 25. They're 8 of 18 from the three-point line. And it's all humming. Brooke, as we're into the last minute of the regular season. Great move. Straight past Lauren Scherf, lays it in.
Again, we talked about Chelsea Brooke, just a huge X factor for the Lightning all season. Just a big tick against her name for what she's done this season. She's really come into her own and hopefully something she can grow on.
There's mainly a little 15-footer, no good. Scherf for the rebound. Gets hit in the face, kisses it off the window. Three-point opportunity. And it's all the Flames.
It is. They just really put their foot down in this fourth quarter. And again, said how hard it is for the Lightning to play that style of play in a season that's so compact, and it shows, and you can see the fatigue, especially late in games, really wears on them. And as it'd be really hard because of the way they play, the speed they play. But again, just this little flashes of brilliance, just not enough collectively over the course of the game.
Tomlinson back on. Brooke takes a seat. Last 37.5 seconds. And this has been a very impressive performance by the Sydney Uni Flames. Whittle. As the clock ticks away, there's Wilson. Just says, I'll just jack it. Love it. Missed it. Scherf with the rebound. Shot clock is off. Swagmeyer Belger, they're going to dribble it out to end the season. She goes at them. Tomlinson can't finish it. Tomlinson with the rebound. Half quarter, no good. And the season, the regular season is complete. And it's been completed with the Sydney Uni Flames having a big win, 86-60, a 26-point win for the Sydney team. Who? Pete Hawley, as I said only moments ago. Katrina Hibbert and the coaching staff will be fairly happy with how they ended this last week or so.
Absolutely. They just put it together, and they'll be a little frustrated that a couple of close games didn't fall their way, because we saw that when they're rolling, they can win any game. They should have beaten the Flyers. 90% of that game, they were dominant just that last couple minutes. And they really have ended it on a good note and just took care of business tonight. Never really looked like Adelaide were going to get over the line. Every time they made a run, they stepped in and made big play after
that I'm a good shooter, and so just continuing to stay aggressive and put shots up.
And you are an exceptional shooter. We spoke so much of it. So much of the team, when you come in off the top and you talk about the aggressiveness there, when you come from the tip and you're aggressive and you allow the game and the flow to just come organically, this is a much better team than the one that we've probably seen earlier in the year.
Absolutely, and I think we've done a good job of getting me into step-ups and spacing really well, and you know, if we can knock a few shots down, it kind of opens up for our bigs as well. So yeah, just starting out of transition play and then flowing from there.
Well, you're a terrific decision maker. Something good always happens when you get the ball. Well, we've got to ask about one of your running mates. She had 15 rebounds again tonight. How does it feel to be playing with someone of her size who's just dominated this season, getting rebound after rebound? You just see her knack for coming up with extra O-boards and all that. It must be fun to play with someone like that.
Adelaide is someone you just want on your team. She just fights for extra possessions, is contagious, her energy. She's just a fighter, and you know, it's amazing to watch. And I really wanted the win for her the other night just because she played so well. So I'm happy that we got the win for her tonight because she just worked so hard.
All right, what's the future hold now? The season's done. You're heading home. You're hanging around to watch the finals. What's the next couple of? Obviously, we've got Opals camps into the new year, but what's it like for you over the next couple of weeks?
So we'll stay for the brunch tomorrow and have a team dinner tonight, and then after that, I'll head home for Christmas back to Adelaide.
You have had an outstanding season and an outstanding game this afternoon. Congratulations on it. Good luck going forward. Enjoy Christmas, and no doubt we'll talk to you sometime soon.
Thank you.
Lauren Mansfield star, 28 points tonight. She was brilliant, and she made a really good point there. That tiny little things, Pete, that talking on the step-ups or being able to find the best way to unlock her ability to help the team if she gets away with a walk in that highlight. Was a huge reason as to why this team, they ended up winning, as I have a look at this, they ended up winning 3 of their last 4, and they should have probably beat the team that is the title favourites right now. So there's no doubt their last week and a bit was really good.
But this is what makes you like a good team, is you keep doing something that works until the opposition does something to change it. And the Lightning did not do anything until Chelsea Brook changed her shows on the screen when the ball was in Lauren Mansfield's hands. And Katrina Hibbert said, get a ball screen and something good's going to happen. That's a great feeling when she's rolling, feeling good about herself, to just have that trust from the coach and the rest of the team. And they ended the season the right way, and I'm sure they'll take a lot of confidence in that for next year.
Of course, you mentioned there, of course, the brunch tomorrow, the WNBL brunch and the awards and all the rest of it. I want to congratulate the WNBL. Brunch is the best meal. Oh, so to be able to do that as the awards, I think that deserves a huge pat on the back. Every single rein they've pulled since this season started, and obviously the logistics and setting it up has been 100% correct, and this is another one. Good on you.
It is, and it's just been, what a great season we've seen. So much talent on display, some incredible performances, and the brunch and the awards will be an interesting one. And I've got a funny feeling that the Townsville Fire may sweep the awards.
They should.
So you've got Shannon Seaborn as Coach of the Year, in my opinion. I think he'll get that, what he's done for the Fire to finish second. Shyla Hill, Youth Player of the League. She has a little competition, but she's been outstanding. Steph Reed, 6th Woman of the Year, potentially. And then MVP, I think, after what we saw today, is Lauren Nicholson. And Liz come in and dominated as we expected, but Lauren Nicholson on both ends of the floor has been truly remarkable all season, and I think that she gets the nod in MVP.
I agree, and she makes, because she has made, I mean, you talk about Shyla Hill, who's been outstanding, we're raving about it, as well we will be for the next 15 years, but the fact is that, she's able to make their job easier, and defensively, you touched on it, she always guards the best person, and I think that, to be honest, I reckon it might be joint MVP.
I wouldn't be upset about that either, because we saw Liz put out some outstanding numbers, like 35-point games in 20 minutes, which is incredible and unheard of.
So this is the thing, when it comes to the most valuable player, I think it is Lauren Nicholson, but if you, probably the best player, like she could be the best player in the world, Liz Campbell.
Yeah.
So the very fact is that, and she's put up those numbers as well, so it is hard to go away from it. I'm going to campaign over the next 12 hours for joint MVP.
Well, it might work in Lauren's favour or not if she does get Defensive Player of the Year as well. They might think she's got a one award, we can give Liz the other one. But I'm with you. I hate agreeing with him, but I'm with you. Joint MVPs would be a great way to end 2 outstanding campaigns.
You do realise if you agreed with me a bit more often, you'd be right more often. That's it. Chemist Warehouse regular season is done and dusted, and 4 teams remain. WNBL.basketball. Get your tickets. There's the ladder. Southside, a couple of games clear on top. And then 2, 3 and 4 was all head-to-head. Townsville Fire get the all-important double chance on take on the Flyers on Wednesday, then Canberra and Melbourne to go at it in the elimination game. As we look at that Wednesday night, that's going to be a huge night of basketball, the prelim on Friday night and then the grand final next Sunday to determine the 2020 Chemist Warehouse WNBL champion. That's where you get your tickets. Pete Hooley.
Been a pleasure, mate.
Been fun.
Really enjoyed it. Seen a lot of great basketball and can't wait to see what's in store these next couple of games.
Can't wait for it. Enjoy it. It is going to be a wonderful week of WNBL. Until next time, see ya.